I'm your host, excuse me, Jamitra. And yeah, I have your other co-hosts here, Chris, Mark, and V.
So
This week,
What's going
we're going
on?
to be your first episode of the podcast where anything can be said. We're going to talk about relationships this week and how our relationships differ from then until now. But before we get into the very first topic, we want to catch up with our co-hosts to talk about some feel-good things that have happened to them this week.
So I'll start first. So my feel good story of this week is, of course, my birthday was on Saturday, and I turned 35. And the feel good story is basically just catching up with my family. Being that we're so spread apart, just catching up with them, having good conversations with them, and just getting back to what we used to be. So that's my
Nice.
feel good story.
Okay.
uh,
Okay, so I jump out. So mine is my birthday is the day before Chris's. 32, you know what I mean? But just having a good time spending it with my husband, you know what I mean, my kids, and just, you know what I'm saying, experiencing life. And then, I just graduated in May with my bachelor's, so just
Yeah.
accomplishing goals, man. It feel good.
Mark, do you have a feel good story of the week? Oh,
I'm sorry. I just lost power in my house for some reason.
Oh wow.
That was weird.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I see Georgia Power
um,
ain't what it used to be.
it never have been. Well, my feel good story. Well, I don't really. Well, this week started off kind of rough. Sunday was a day. I'm gonna go into details, but it was a day. But my baby girl lost her first two teeth this
Hey.
week, so that was exciting and you know, like always, expensive because we all know who the tooth fairy is. So,
With them
but
racks.
see, for real though. So I guess that's it for me though.
That's what's up, man.
All right.
Nice.
Well, thanks for checking in and congratulations and happy birthday to you all. Next, we want to talk about some music. So, we like music on this podcast, and we want to give everybody a chance to give us the song of their week. So, we'll start with V. V, what song do you have this week? That's your song.
Y'all gotta check out Migos Avalanche. They got this
Mm,
old school vibe,
mm,
yo. Like it's
mm.
so bomb. Y'all gotta vibe with it. I love it.
That's
Yeah,
what's
I
up.
like I like that too. I was about to say that song too because I like that
Uh,
joint too. You know,
no
Yeah,
take
man.
that. No.
They
Uh,
I think we
that- that-
might I think we might actually, all like the same joint because I'm not gonna lie, that the video itself was dope. Like they did their
Fire.
thing on the video.
So, we're all in agreement that Avalanche is the song of the week.
Yeah.
I'm very excited that Culture 3 is out now. I enjoy the Migos, all their projects, and there's just been a lot of great music that's been put out this week. Has anybody checked out like the Polo G um, album or work that was put out? Polo G put some stuff out. We have
no,
Doja Cat and Lil Baby put out a joint collab.
Nah, I ain't get a chance to check
So
out
I
Polo.
didn't get a chance.
Nicki
Yeah.
Minaj fans. We have any Barb's in the stands over here? Uh, well,
Nope.
it's
mm,
fine. I'm sure.
mm,
I'm sure
no.
on one episode we'll have a full blown music segment and we could talk about our favorite and our not favorite rappers, and maybe
Oh
Mm.
she'll.
yeah.
Well, now that we've got the song of the week out of the way, we'd like to dive into our topic of this week. This week, we want to give, I guess, a timeline of romantic relationships and how they differ from when we were younger to now that we're much older. Would anybody like to go first and kind of just give background on their relationship status and how old they are and where they met their spouse at?
So I
Oh
don't think
man.
What's
nobody
so funny?
I don't think nobody's gonna
Y'all
volunteer.
spouses are gonna watch this. They're gonna hear y'all up here with the hesitation.
Yo, I'll go first. I don't
All
care.
right, Mark.
Whatever.
Okay.
All right. So 34, been married for almost 11 years. Be 11 years in September.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, I
Wow,
know.
congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. It ain't been easy. Jesus Christ. Like, like, bro,
Okay.
like for real though. Like, I really should be divorced, or I don't know. It's just been a roller coaster, you know. But
You've been
you
a
know,
marriage.
we've been dating. For, I'm sorry.
I said it's been a marriage,
What was
right?
that?
It's been a full blown marriage, right? Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. You see everything. Like in 10 years, like
I think his power went back out
Yeah.
again.
We might have got some interference.
So I mean, I'll go ahead. I'll go
well,
ahead and do mine. I'll do mine. So I'll say that with me, we met young, but we took our time trying to get married. We met at like Keela was like 27. I'm sorry, 23. I was 27. See, I didn't got it mixed up. So like just in the time that we met, it was kind of hazy because I just came out of a relationship and I wanted to try to stay single for a while. Most dudes they try to jump into something else, but I wanted to try to stay single, and I couldn't maintain it because I felt her vibe. I had a nickname for her. I called her Miss Bougie because every time I seen her, she had them. She hop out the car with the bubble glasses, even though in uniform you're not supposed to. But I was like, you know what? Let me just try hollering at her. So I hit her up on Facebook Messenger and wished her happy birthday. And then shortly after that, I asked her out on a date.
All
So
right, macaroni. All right. Give us some mac on a birthday.
Uh,
How about you, B?
you said, me?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Right, so I'm a savage, okay, or at least I used to be. Right, relationships. I mean, you could ask Chris. I was a fool, but with my husband, I was just tired of living that life. Right, so I was like playing softball. I met him playing softball. I asked another friend like, "Who is that?" He like, "Oh, that's old boy." Blah blah blah. Right, so I was like, "Cool," you know what I'm saying? Let me get his number. Went from there. And funny story, I actually met him on POS. Don't judge me. I'll be on them sites.
Hey, it's
Right?
hey,
I was in there.
2025.
hey,
Most
social media,
people
social
have met
media.
Tinder.
the love of their life on some sort of social media platform. So we are
Right,
not judging.
right.
All up in there, right? So we started talking on there, and then we met up, and from that point on, we kept it pushing, and it has been complicated. I mean, five
hmm
years,
How long?
5 years,
5 years?
5
5 years?
years, and it's been, oh my God, it's been crazy. We only been married almost a year now,
Okay.
but was
mm.
dating 4 years, and it's been a roller coaster. But you know what I mean. I don't want to choose nobody else. You know what I'm saying, and I think he's the
Definitely,
person for me, regardless of how hard it is.
I feel you.
definitely.
Feel you on that.
All right. So let's talk about back then because everybody is totally combined. You all have about 20 years roughly of marriage, give or take, of marriage total combined, right? But most of you met your spouses when you were much younger, in your younger 20s. We know that this is a military podcast, if you will. Everyone here has military experience, either still active duty or is a veteran in the military. We know that like the military has a very big play on the way that we interpret our romantic relationships because there's so many different moving pieces of being in the military, right?
Hmm
Yep.
What are some differences that you can see in yourself from when you were younger 20, when you first met your spouse, in regards to like how you date versus now? Are you like more go with the flow type? Are you like, or were you more go with the flow back then? Now you're just like, turning it up? Are you guys like, explain the differences between you as a person when you were much younger versus now that you're into your marriages and into your final relationship.
So I think with me, me and my relationship, at first, like I'm pretty sure, like all of our relationships in the beginning, it was, you know, we were trying to woo each other. Like, you know, I wanna impress you, so
Yeah.
I'm wearing the flyest gear, or you know, I'm trying to you know, show out with the nicest car and stuff like that. Then when you
Mhm.
get to know each other and you realize, like, I really ain't have to do all of that just to get your attention. I just had to be me.
Yeah.
And
Me.
Right.
and especially getting older now, like, you see it, like, especially now that we're married and we have a home together, not just a house, but we actually have a home together. And, you know, we could be corny around each other, or we make these, you know, lame jokes or whatever, and it's our thing. It's not, you know, me trying to impress you no more. It's just me being comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
What about
Right.
you, Mark?
Well, I agree with what Chris said. Like it was the same thing. Like I feel like, yo, I gotta get these J's. I gotta get, this clothing.
Yeah.
I gotta, rock this watch just to, get attention of a woman. Because back when I was trying to get at my wife, like I went all out, and I still do things for her now. Not saying that fire died down, but I
Right.
don't do the things I did back then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It,
Yeah.
it's like a balance. Like, hey, you're not getting flowers every day. You get flowers every once in a while, type thing. Because I ain't gonna lie, 'cause I don't have to do that now. I got you. Like
Right.
that's just true.
Oh.
I'm not saying that it's not worth it.
Oh, Mark.
Now stop.
Mm-mm.
That could be the elephant in the room. I don't care. But anyways,
That's
Okay.
this
my guy.
that like for real, don't like, bro,
He
like
said that could be the elephant in
like
the room.
like
Hey,
I got you now. Like I don't
Yeah.
have to do all that now. Like you
so
ain't
you
going
feel
nowhere.
like not necessarily that you don't have to do that, right? Because we are
Hmm.
agreeing that in the beginning, maybe you all were doing things to try to impress, where it's not so much as I'm not trying, it's not that I'm trying to impress you anymore. It's that, like, I know your mind, so I don't have to put on this facade that, like, I'm gonna, I'm not going to go buy you
Right.
flowers every day.
Uh huh.
You know that I still, it's not because I don't love you. It's just because you know that that's not what's gonna happen, right?
Right.
Okay,
It,
I
I
it's
would
it's like
agree.
it's
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
like it's like a mutual understanding. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it comes up like, hey, when we were just dating, you did these things.
right.
Hmm.
And sometimes I joke my wife like, yeah, like I ain't gotta do that now 'cause I got you. She knows it's a joke, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she was like, well, yeah, you right, yeah, your last name Poke now, like
Big facts.
that's the end goal, right?
Yep.
So
Huh?
you're saying she's trading weekly flowers for the last name. She won because she got the last name.
Well, yeah, I mean because it could have been somebody else, but it's you.
Okay.
It
All
is.
right.
Get
I want
All
to
right,
hear
Mr.
from
Leo, come
Vito.
on through all that Leo energy. Come through. Did anybody, when you were younger, purchase like anything for your spouse to kind of like woo them? Were there any like wild purchases, like you bought them like something outrageous that you'd never done for anybody else? Anybody else? Anything happen like
um
that?
mm,
I wouldn't say I was trying to woo him, you know what I mean? But when I care and love somebody, I give 100%. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm not like a yes person, but if you want it and I got it and I can give it to you, baby, I'm gonna give it to you. Period. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was that kind of person, you know what I'm saying? And
I dig
so
it.
what you saying there, that makes me think like he wanted these 12s, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to be beaten down the block or whatever. You know, he kind of young. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of a cougar in a way because I'm
Huh?
6 years older. It's cool though. But
That's the elephant. That's the elephant in the
I'm the
room.
elephant in the room. I'm 6 years older than my husband,
Well,
right?
that's cool. That's cool.
But you know what I'm saying? He wanted to beat down the block, so I bought him some 12s for his car. You know what I'm saying? Just so he could show out a little bit. That was
Okay.
That's
that was
what's
my
up.
thing. Yeah.
All right.
That's what's up.
Listen them all, let them ball. I hear all of
Right.
that. Listen,
Right.
I'm
Cause I
learning.
ain't gonna lie, I ain't do none of that.
You didn't do any of that.
I
Like
ain't do none of that. Like,
not a purse. You didn't buy a concert ticket. None of that. You didn't like
Oh,
prize.
I
Like
did buy a purse. Yep,
I'm
I did buy a
saying, like
purse. I
I bought a
okay.
did.
purse.
Well, I've gotten a lot of stuff,
I
but
did. But
this is not about me. This is about you all.
but
So
I mean, truthfully though,
Why?
I ain't do much of that until we were like good, like, because
so
even
you're
though,
like official.
what's that? Yeah,
You
like we
were
were official.
official.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like when I was younger, I put on a facade, like a brother was really struggling when I was younger, but I
Hey,
I was
hey,
struggling.
man, we all been there, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly. Me and you, we back at Bragg. We know that. Like there was nights we had to sleep on each other's couch. So
Bro, they say you get paid good, but you broke. All right, I'm gonna leave it at
exactly.
that. Continue
So
though. Continue.
yeah, but when we got good in our relationship, that's when the gifts started getting heavier. Like, the
Okay.
bags, the flowers and all that stuff. Like now I buy her flowers like weekly, you know.
Oh, you're a better man than me. No, I'm just playing.
I've seen some of those flowers and went down for Thanksgiving. They're very beautiful flowers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
speaking of finances, right? Since we're talking about then versus now, do you feel like your spouse being actually committed to your spouse has helped you financially? Do you feel like, and if so, in what ways do you feel like your financial makeup has taken a different outlook? Do you think it's gotten better, or do you think there's more? Like, do you have more conflict in your relationships or your marriage, or do you feel like you're more stable financially because that you've chosen to commit to one person? Give us some
Mm,
insight on that.
well, I'll go first on this because, like, my wife used to be in the Air Force. So when we first got married, we were both, military.
Mm-hmm.
But when it goes to, one person being at duty, you take a hell of a pay cut,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I had to, kind of adjust to being, two incomes to like one. I mean, she get VA benefits, disability, whatever, but it's still not what it was on active duty.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So with that, it forced me to be financially responsible. I
Hmm.
was like, like, okay, the kids gonna need this, Karina gonna need this. We got these bills coming out this day. These bills come out this day. Need to save some money for a rainy day and, like play money.
Mm-hmm.
Like just in case I want to, get like a 12 pack or something or something like that. But
Yeah.
Okay.
but like I, still try to stay within my budget. And my
Yeah.
wife, she kind of like, tell me like, hey, you spent money on this and that. You need to, kind of cut back. Sometimes I'll be like, man, whatever. But then, I listen.
Okay.
But it helped me because if I was single, man, I ain't gonna lie, like I'll be probably taking trips every damn month somewhere, just spending money for no reason. But yeah, it definitely helped me.
How about you, V?
As Chris mentioned earlier, we was broke as a joke, right? So me getting out the military and getting my VA benefits, that really, really helped me, right? So
Mhm.
I was standing on my own too,
Mhm.
proudly, right? And it's just like getting in a relationship, you notice that you spend more money than when you're single, right? When you're
Mhm.
single, you're only spending that money like on you. Maybe if
Right.
you have a child, on your child. But once you get into a relationship, we just spoke about the whole wooing the person and trying to get their attention. Like this stuff costs.
Right.
Yep.
Going
Mhm.
out on dates, spending money, like shopping. That it adds up. It gets crazy. So it's like I want to say that yes, I am more responsible than I used to be, but it's still one of those things. Like, all right, I'm with you. Let's do this. Let's do this. Something's always gonna cost some money. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You just gotta budget. You gotta
Yep.
do what you
Okay.
gotta do.
Facts.
So for me, I actually, I'm as an older adult now, I'm not ashamed to say that when I was younger, I didn't know how to be financially responsible until I met
Mhm,
the woman that I'm married to.
All right. You
Keela,
better
mhm.
credit when credit is
Keela,
due.
you
Come
know,
on. I know that's right.
I can't even take credit for it. Like she literally helped me, not by doing it for me, but by showing me like how to be more responsible fiscally. Because when we were younger, like I said, I was trying to impress her.
Mhm.
To when I realized she's not into the bags and the heels and stuff like that. I'm not saying she doesn't have that stuff, but I'm saying she's not consumed by it.
Right.
Right.
So and especially after we had landed, it came to a point where okay, we need to think about the long run instead of right now.
Mhm.
So that's how we were able to actually buy a home, buy two new cars and stuff like that. Especially in a black community, it's hard for us to like do these type of things without some type of like heavy hit to to one, our credit, or two, our pockets. But I
Mhm.
think because well, also, both of us are still in the military,
Right.
so that's kind of good. But he's about to get out, but we're not gonna feel the blow of only living with one income, because she's still a hustler. I give it to her. She's still a hustler. She
Right.
whatever means she can find to make money legally, she's gonna make it. I'm not talking about no pole. I'm
Hmm.
just saying, like, legally, she's gonna make money. So I don't have
Okay.
to. I don't have to, spend a night trying to wonder, like, damn, when the next paycheck come, or something like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
The thought,
I feel you.
I can't express enough the happiness of not living paycheck to paycheck no more.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
Man.
that's cool. And
yeah,
I think I'm gonna say, bro, it's like being mill to mill. That's double the stress you gotta put up with.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
definitely, definitely,
because before I went to Korea for a year, Karina was deployed to Afghanistan.
yeah.
She came back. We high five each other on the way out. Like that,
Wow,
like the way, like the stress that put on your family, bro.
definitely.
Like no amount of money is worth that.
No, it's
So,
Yeah.
not. That's not. And
so
believe me, like I'm itching to get out, because, like you said, the military is not. They give the slogan, family first, but in all actuality, it's whatever you got to do in the military. We'll think
mhm.
about your
Mm-hmm.
family, but it's whatever we got to
Right.
do in the military
Right.
Right,
first.
always
So
mission
Right.
first.
exactly.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about some love elephants right
Okay.
now.
Mm.
The big no-nos in the
Okay.
relationships, things that have caused you all stress, things that have tested your ability to love and to maintain in your relationships.
Okay.
So let's bring in the infidelity elephant.
Jesus.
Ooh,
Mm.
leave that one out. Leave that one. Send him home.
Oh,
Oh
she's
my
coming in.
God.
She's coming in hard. It's a
Yeah.
stampede.
Mm.
Is infidelity a deal breaker in your marriages, your relationship?
I think it depends.
It depends.
Like, cause like I told y'all yesterday, like infidelity can be more than just having sex. Like,
Okay.
in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, like you can be talking to somebody for a couple of months and y'all, grow this attraction to each other. Talking over social media, the phone, person is trying to woo you and stuff. Y'all ain't gotta have sex. If you married and you doing that type of stuff, you're already cheating.
Mm-hmm.
You're already
Yeah.
cheating.
You
Yeah.
know. So when you say infidelity, so we talk about the physical aspect and that aspect as well. You know.
Is that a deal breaker for you if talking to someone on social media with that
Um.
deal for you?
mm, I'm not gonna say it's a deal breaker, but the trust is gonna be gone for a while, and if
Definitely.
you ain't got
Mm-hmm.
trust, like it's gonna be hard for you to move on in a relationship, and that when
Mm-hmm.
counseling and stuff will have to come into play, or like because I ain't gonna lie, if my wife telling another dude that she loves him or she's attracted to him or they're sending like inappropriate pictures back and forth, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be hurt, and it's gonna be hard for me to trust her. I'm gonna have to like I'm like, "Yo, look, we need to get, I need some space.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna volunteer for a TDY for a month somewhere or something. Take leave and go to my parents' house for a couple of weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do just to get that space with us because sometimes space is good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all you need because if well, with me, if I'm here and I'm around you and I'm mad, I'm gonna say something and we're gonna argue and I'm not trying to get it to turn physical.
Right.
Right.
Cause they gonna arrest my black ass, and I ain't even trying to have that happen. Like,
God.
I'm
Right.
I'm gonna get missing. That's me. That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
What
Yeah.
about you, Chris?
So
Infidelity, is it a deal breaker?
so you if this was a boyfriend and girlfriend thing, then immediately, yeah, I got to go because I'm not the one for you, clearly.
Right.
But now we're talking about a family that was built together. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the houses, it's the cars, it's custody of the child, it's all of these things. Like these are the things that we have to think about when infidelity comes up. So is it a deal breaker? Probably not. But like Mark said, I'm gonna need some space, or that person's gonna need some space, because every time I see you, I think about what you just told me. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm away from you, that gives me time to heal. It gives me time to
Mm-hmm.
heal, and it gives me time to think. Like, okay, is this
Facts.
is this something that we need to continuously go through, or can we just you know, cut loose and then just go our separate ways? So
Okay.
Facts.
How about you, B?
Ah, infidelity. I'm not. It's not a deal breaker.
Okay.
It sucks. It does, and I've been on both sides of that shit. You know, it
Okay.
yeah.
doesn't feel good for it
Yes.
to
Yeah.
Give us
happen.
some
Yeah.
honesty up in this
Exactly.
line. Gotta give us some
It
honesty.
it doesn't feel good to receive it or do it right, because when you're in
Right.
the
Mm-hmm.
moment, you're just like, okay, I'm in it,
Right.
and to you at that moment it feels good, but the aftermath is just it's shit, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, and it's not a deal breaker, but trust is definitely going to be hard to
Oh yeah.
to come back from, right? I mean, the conversations, you guys are
Mm-hmm.
probably going to revisit that conversation so many times, and
Definitely.
I've lived it, but at the same time, I feel that that's needed. If you want to rebuild trust, you're going to have to continuously revisit that conversation or go over
Mm-hmm.
the hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like it just takes time to get over, and that's the only thing that can heal you is time. Um, you saying, I know you guys were saying that space that you get. For me, I don't want space. You know what I mean? I feel
Mm-hmm.
like let's tackle it. We already
Mm-hmm.
know
Right.
what the problem is. Let's jump on it. Let's fix it. So what did I do to make you do that? Feel
Right.
like you need to cheat on me or vice versa. Like I want to communicate about it. I don't want to shy away from it because I feel like that leaves open room for other things to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I feel you.
I think also with that comes the the environment that people have,
Yes.
especially we all have, you know, been in with the military. You meet several different types of people all the time,
Hmm.
and you know, going TDY or going TDY meaning, you know, temporarily being somewhere for a minute, or
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, being somewhere in a space where you're not with your partner all the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, I'm glad I don't work with my wife, because that doesn't give me time to miss her. But the hazard to that is, if you meet somebody that might think you're attractive, because
Mhm.
to me, I believe, you know, people find people attractive physically before anything. The outer, it's
Mm-hmm.
before anything. So if I find somebody attractive and I'm spending, you know, about 8 hours a day with them instead of my family, then it's gonna be like, okay, well, I got the vibe right here at work. So that's where the communication come in. Once you start making them laugh, you make each other laugh, and that opens the door to infidelity right there. So you gotta,
Hmm.
as an adult, you gotta figure out, okay, am I in this relationship with my partner, you know, and not trying to open the gate to infidelity.
Mhm.
I feel you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you all are very
Definitely.
forgiving. I can't say the same for myself.
You a Leo. You a Leo.
Oh, it's gonna definitely take some
I'm gonna
time.
grab those
Like
scissors, aren't
like
I?
I'm
Okay,
not just
fine.
gonna
Out of there.
I'm
like
gonna
off the
disappear very fast.
like off the string. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I forgive you. It's gonna take some time for me to forgive you. It's not
Oh
gonna be
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I forgive you. I don't care if you come in with like, like a Xbox. Let's say Xbox One, the new Xbox, whatever. Because I already got the
I'm
PS5,
gonna take the
so
Xbox, and I'm still gonna cut you.
you
Yeah.
gonna well, you would do some shit like
She
that.
tried to go.
Like
Right.
Nicole,
Right.
knowing how you are, that's some shit you would do though.
I would,
Like,
Oh
and
my
I would,
God.
and I would do that. All right. Well, let's talk about another elephant. We've had a conversation, right, about careers, and B, you've left the military, but Mark and Chris, you are still in,
hmm
Hmm.
right? As in this crowd, we're all in our 30s. As we see ourselves in the 40s and the 50s, right? We're no longer in the 20s. What are some of your dreams and aspirations? What are things that you hope to grow up to be as we continue to grow up? And how do you think your relationship plays in that? Like, do you see yourself being able to grow up to be what you've always wanted to be because you are now in a stable relationship? Or what do you think, like, how do you think your relationship is going to take form when you're no longer who you are right now in your careers, when you're in a different career?
So you saying basically when we retired?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, being in the military almost 16 years now. You know, I learned to go where the money resides. You know,
Okay.
Hey.
like
And that's
like
how Mary had a little lamb.
you know, like I'm gonna, cause you all know I'm going to California in like less than 5 months,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is gonna be my last duty assignment.
Okay.
Excited to be there, but I know I'm not gonna retire there
Right.
Mhm.
unless they offer me a job in California paying 200K a year. I'm not staying.
Yeah.
Right.
That's on everything. So I'm more likely to be relocating south. Could be Texas, Georgia, Florida,
Hey.
South Carolina, North Carolina. It's gonna be somewhere because the cost of living in the south compared to other places, like really can't beat it.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, you know. So that's my
Yeah.
plan. And me and my wife, you know, we went back and forth about where we want to retire at. You know, she's like, well, you know, give California a chance. You'll know you might find a good job there. I'm like, well, I told you what I expect. You know, if they give me you know, can meet me at those numbers, I'll happily retire in California.
Does your wife's her retirement goals, like what she wants to be, have you all like actually had this
Yes,
conversation about
yes.
how like both of you want to do X, Y, and Z when you get to that point? And
Like my wife, she said that okay, you know, how about you retire and I'll go to work when you retire. And
Oh.
I'm like,
Oh.
okay, you know, we can do that because Karina been offered jobs and stuff, and I'm like, hey, you know, we got kids, let's just focus on kids. I ain't let her go back to work, you know, because she had to, you know, follow my career. Cause being a military spouse, you follow around your spouse.
yeah,
So it's like she can't really, you know, like, hey, I'm gonna do this job, and then we gotta up in PCS in the next couple of years or whatever. So yeah, like I told her, like, and I say this all the time, when I retire, I'm not gonna work for at least like 30 days straight because I'm gonna do some illegal shit I couldn't do when I was in the military. Yeah, I put two and two together. And you know what I'm talking about, you
Yes.
I
know?
got
Definitely,
four.
because
I got
I talk
four.
Yes.
about that all the time, bro.
You know, that's what, like, I ain't gonna be good. Like, if y'all call me, I ain't probably answer the phone. Cause I'll be dead to the world. Probably go, probably going to the moon. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, but
Okay.
that's those are goals, like for real though, for me. You know, like okay, like
Exactly.
maybe you know if she gets a good paying job, maybe I can sit at home, be a stay home dad. I get picked at whatever they be like, oh, you a scrub. Yeah, well, I worked for 20 years in the military.
Man.
We're not the same, so don't compare me to you. Like
Yeah.
Right.
I got money coming in, I ain't even freaking going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
So like
How about
Mm.
you other two? What do you have to say?
Go ahead, B.
Retirement.
I mean, I met my spouse when I was already out of the military. I didn't have a job. I've just been hustling, going to school the whole time. So
all
my income has pretty much been the same. Disabled veteran. I don't have to work. I want to work though. You know what I'm saying? It's all about that money.
right.
But it's just like for him, I met him in the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer in the military, but that didn't put a strain on our relationship because I really believe regardless, I'm gonna hold my spouse down through anything. You know what I'm saying? So we jumped on it, helped him get his VA benefits, and he's also a disabled veteran. So we both can sit at home and chill and not have to do nothing. So it works out perfectly.
Okay. What
That's what's
about you,
up.
Chris? What do you
So
think
I'm
in the 40s, and then how is Keela's role and you all's marriage play in that, what you're doing in the 40s when you retire?
so with us, like Mark, we had that conversation, like
Mm-hmm.
because her thing is she wants to move back to the southeast. Me, I'm fine right here in the great state of Texas. Even though I'm a Georgia boy, I
Mm-hmm.
still love the state of Texas. So I'm
Mm. Don't
fine.
forget it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine right here. But we constantly talk like almost weekly about what the plan is for retirement because I'm at 16 years. I just hit 16 years at the beginning of June.
Mm.
So I'm 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 counting down basically like okay, uh what we need to do with this house if it comes time for us to move. Are we going to rent it out? Are we going to sell it? Is it going to be a buyer's market in 4 years when we leave? Like this type of stuff, the type of conversations that we have. But more than anything, it's a conversation that we have. It's not
Mm-hmm.
It's not me making all the decisions, because at the end of the day, I have to make sure I do what's best for my family, and that
Right.
doesn't work without the input of my family.
Right.
So
Facts.
even though I may make the final decision, it still comes with their opinions. So, but best believe, like if she be like, hey, I feel better in Atlanta, Georgia, on the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia, and I see something that catches my eye as well as hers, then bam, I'm for it. But it's not one of those one-way conversations in our relationship, and it won't be that way. It'll never be that way. It's a we thing, and I think that's how we will last in the 40s when we get there. Then on top of that, I'm trying to, like Mark, I'm trying to go see some places. Like I'm trying to go to Dubai. I'm trying to go
Mm-hmm.
to
Yes.
Jamaica, and it's not one of those. Well, I got to put in a leave form. I got to do this 30 days out. No,
Well, you do the hell you want.
exactly. And
Right.
best believe, day one when I'm on leave, me and Mark, we might be together smoking right here on this,
Oh boy, you said something. Boy,
on
you
the
said
elephant
something.
All
on the
right.
elephant in the room, smoking
Well,
weed. Like, let's get it.
well, as we wrap up this very first episode, it's been an incredible episode. We've gotten to know some things about the co-hosts Chris, Mark, and V, and to avoid any sort of technological issues I might have with my phone as it is about to die. So, so as we bring this episode to a close, we're so
Lord have
excited that
mercy.
you joined us here for our very first episode of Elephant in the Room podcast. Please be sure to check us out on the social media platforms on Instagram and Twitter at Elephant in the Room podcast. And we look forward to hearing any messages that you have for us, any questions that you have for us, any fan critiques or anything that you'd like to tell us. We would love to hear from you all. Thank you so much for tuning in for this very first week's episode, and we will see you all next week on the Elephant in the Room podcast.
All right.
Out.
Peace.
Bye.